My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com. NZD 582. Directed light onto the roof of the car while they're crossing path, and this is also while 7AKN 590. As I'm woken up inside of the car, you'll see what is the fake sun directly over the back windshield. Impossible light in the front passenger side of the door. That's impossible. Okay. 7CTJ 974. The same 5VQV085. This is demonic pacing. That's operation of a communication device you're hearing. And this is the placement of this directed light is on the passenger side on the glove compartment, and you'll see the fake sun that is elevated directly above the back of the car. I'm just showing you what is, first of all, aside from, I'm not even arguing about what is the impossible placement of this light source. All right, you're talking about what is the placement of light, a patch of light right over the front of the car in front of me. And then also while these demons are pacing by and entering the car that I'm sleeping inside of, as it's being entered inside of, directed light across the roof of the car over my head. And again, that is concerted conduct with the people of the state, whose name I don't know. That's concerted conduct. They're monitoring together. It is indiscriminate. It's not different because you know a third party's names or you don't know their name. All right, and that is also 6B14830. And this is parked outside of what is it, the Tabora Professional Building. 325 West G Street. These minions at 711 630 North Front. They're still monitoring just across the street from the same venue. And again, you see the fake sun that's nowhere near being over, seeing from the vantage point of being over 630 North Fern. It's over on the side of the street that I'm on, 6WJX361, directly over the car on the side of the street that I'm inside of. And again, that's why directed light is occurring across the roof of the car, which I've also shown before. And I've shown everywhere. That's the P.O.C. It is currently 8:07 a.m. It's Thursday, June 30th, 2022. And this is P.O.C. 15 cents.
Be in the jam no more. This is my
5UJ 8952 8WTD 109 and Safeguard on Demand, license 8UY U061 and operation of a communication device. He's a demon stalking with light activity, using that company vehicle to do so, stalking in the path with flashing light. They're sex offenders monitoring while my panties are down in the bathroom at third-party facility venue Stater Brothers at 646 West Holt Boulevard. I'm also showing you what is the entity that is group stalking. This is this is predatory conduct. I'm showing you, first of all, what's alignment. Crossing path, indirected light inside of the Stater Brothers. Second of all, it's a sex offender that's going inside of the men's private space to maintain perfect alignment with me. A demon knowing when I'm pulling my pants down, knowing I'm pulling my panties down, knowing everything about with regard to what's going on inside of the bathroom, and doing so to engage in what is relevant positioning to one who is documenting it, a violent sex offender, disregarding the fact that you're aware of the fact that what they are doing, and with the intention to invade your privacy, a sexually violent threat on behalf of the state. This is captured in still images while that third party that represents the entire entity, including Safeguard on Demand, monitoring with those demons that are inside of Stater Brothers, keeping that fake sun over that Stater Brothers as I exit, monitoring all together as an entity inside of that bathroom. Okay, it currently, again, it's 8:28 a.m. and the light source remains over that Stater Brothers. While I'm there walking out, you're looking at directed light underneath the structure. That's a pattern, and it's impossible light. Alrighty, this is P.O.C. 7 MRS 022 Direct light flashing in the back seat of the car. This is terrorism while you're sitting in a vehicle in traffic while demons, necessarily, are surrounding you and stalking you in traffic. All right, it is currently, and monitoring you as well. This is demonic activity, though, so this is the significance of this directed light occurring in a back seat while I'm just reaching for my wallet. All right, 7 WPE 942 in the sex offender, 8 VSB 200, repeating it at D Street in Grove, doing so as I'm documenting. And I'm showing you the environment where demons engage in that. Fake sun's directly over me through the window. And 8 VSB 200, you're talking about what's the grounds of federal prison. You're talking about mental institution while they engage in that level of terrorism. Just driving by as though they're engaging in regular traffic is a suggestion, right? Because directed light is inexplicable. And outside of documentation, that which you cannot prove. And this is exactly what they're molesting me with at the same time that I'm documenting it, which is an impossible occurrence. That's a demon's intentional conduct. That's the evidence that will land that third party in what is a mental ward. All right, it is current, and that's intentional conduct, including the third party that's driving this car. They're monitoring together. Don't forget that. It's 8:36 a.m. That's speaking to, again, where I'm located at Grove and D Street, going toward the venue, and the fake sun remains over me. I want to repeat this third party, 8 VSB 200 P.O.C. at I Street in Grove. License plate 68344E2. And you're paying attention to a specific pattern. This is what they're doing in the mall. This is what they're doing on the freeway. This is what they're doing on the bus. This is what they're doing inside of any venue where I'm located. 5 FOZ 430. 7 HUY 512. That's a demon driving Student Transportation of America. 1614355, I believe. I can't even see that. That's the Ontario Police Department, though, and that's direct evidence against that. Every single last one of them. The third party that's molesting me, they're all going to federal prison. All right, that's P.O.C. It's currently 8:37 a.m. And obviously that's where they belong. Engaging in this terrorism while you're sitting in a car, a psychopath listening to me document, 55375C3, and then you're monitoring with the kidnappers, the Ontario Police, with knowledge of the fact that I'm documenting, they're going to federal prison. Alrighty? It's Grove and 4th Street, where the Ontario Police are stalking with that third party that intentionally molests at the same time I'm documenting that terrorism of directed light occurring in the back seat. That's grounds of federal prison. License 7KHB 773. And those, I want you to understand the escalation of that documentation. Molestation with directed light, that terrorism, mental ward, all right, as a means of punishment. They're already stalking with the police. While the police then cross path in my face, that's federal prison for that third party. Understand that. All right, it's 8KKC 999, 7AZY 378, 5535. Oh, I can't see that. I think I read that already. Security paving, crossing path as well. 55375C3, I believe is the license plate here. 55375C3, yeah. License 7LPX 5894YJY 333. (9462OP2), and it is again.
Oh shit!
8:40 a.m.
Shit.
That's a reference to a third party. Anyway, it is 8:40 a.m. 5HQJ 920. Excuse me, 5HQG 920. 8KAP 736, 6SNV 128, 8SGQ 074, I believe. 6PND 011. 5GGU707, 5YEZ787, 5YAJ722, 7UAP321.
Extra man here at Extra Mile with another extra thought. Is convenience a real thing? At Extra Mile, it is a real thing. And it's in everything we do.
Okay, 8SQG074, by the way. I read that license plate earlier. I want to make sure it's correct. That's 8SQG074. And I read that one. 5GGU707, and they're pacing. Directed light while they cross path again. BN83U04 at Archibald Avenue and Arrow. 8KAP736, the same. License 68069M2. 7XEM048. 8EEP435.
Why? Because I know what's coming next. You crazy Sid Sleep Independent sales are
8ZAB146.
and sleeping in the best country in the world.
8RIE934 and San Bernardino County crossing path as well. Driving on Archibald and then turning onto Arrow. And the same exact directed light. License 6ZNK584. 8N46862. 8YDF535. 7JKU928. 5. I can't really say that. LOKLOD 7RRW638 8YAC088 7KSU799 7MAW986 6YNJ435 5VVV773 7SHL322 8PAF124 9BGU983 8TFC548 8HXA851 Molesting 9AVE441 7JNR159 7CTX041 06360K2 1302446 bus 1361 stalking in the path with light activity. That's Omnitrans. Alrighty, license 8YZK336 KAALOHA TPDNJOY 09482A3 8SAA012 MOEHAWK 5MZL175 7DQW137 14A3HF Arizona 8VMT528 6TLJ830 8NSN526 BA496 handicap 8PVG193. I think I read that one already. Let's see. YASHASN 7TRT535 8EHP 965 8WFY584 7XIA550 or 7XTA550, yeah. 7SOP300 8KKJ716, yeah, 7SOP300. These are demons pacing around in the parking lot at the Barton Plaza where the entity is flying over by a helicopter. They're monitoring right now. This minion is a Caucasian male. He's wearing black shoes with brown soles. He's wearing dark blue slacks and a lighter blue grayish colored jacket over a blue button-down shirt with a tie. He's got burnt red orange hair. He's pacing around his vehicle. Obviously, I showed you directed light while that demon was monitoring yesterday on video. He's pacing around his car, which is in direct light under the fake sun, which is over my head in Rancho Cucamonga at the Barton Plaza. And he is monitoring. It's 8:53 a.m. and he is operating vehicle 8EHP965, 8MM M327, 8SZA574, 8YYF345, 9BJZ993. 7DQS586, 7EQG521. I just want to make sure I read all these license plates. They're engaged in surveillance. They're in close proximity to the bus stop. They are obviously monitoring the entity flying over by helicopter. That's an ongoing indication. It's not just yesterday. This is criminal conduct that you're subject to, and it's direct evidence against the people, which is exactly what I was describing yesterday. So I'm just documenting all those who are monitoring right now. This is P.O.C. The Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court obviously is also in relevant position, monitoring with these demons who are pacing around. And monitoring with communication devices with these demons who are pacing around all together vicariously on behalf of the state, this is group stalking. All right, and that's where you're understanding what is a courthouse, no exception to the P.O.C. It is a state facilitating venue, having no legal authority whatsoever, engaging in group stalking. That is, the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court is a group stalker. All right, and so you're going to prosecute and you're going to remove those group stalkers, for example, who exercise fictitious authority under the law. They're going to cease to exist. They're also going to go to federal prison while they are violating your rights, engaging in any efforts of kidnapping. That's the P.O.C. Alrighty, it is currently 8:55 a.m. 8 RGR 475, 8 ZEN 892, 2745782. 8 KHM 308, 8 ZLT 541. This minion is 13244Z1, 7 NVA 676. All right, I want you to pay attention from the images that I just captured. Yesterday at 11:05 a.m., I took a picture at the same exact bus stop, incorporating bus stop number 0503 in that sign. Remember, I let the Route 66 bus proceed, document the African-American male operating that bus. They're molesting me with directed light. These demons get on the bus. This is after the entity flies in circles over my head in this helicopter at this same exact venue, the Barton Plaza, the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court. Remember, after leaving Panera Bread, all of that, all right? At 11:05 a.m., I specifically sit here and I'm reminding you about what is not occurring at the same time in Ontario in the parking lot. Through the windshield of the vehicle on Vineyard Avenue, the light source, supposedly the sun over my head at 11:05, over my head in the parking lot of the Ontario Police Department while I'm sitting in Rancho Cucamonga on Foothill Boulevard at 11:05 a.m. It is not 11:05 a.m., by the way. It's 8:55 a.m. where I capture the image at the same exact bus stop over my head. That's the stationary maintenance of a light source, 68444J1. 3 hours, I suppose, 2.5 to 3 hours later, it's going to be at the same bus stop, at the same position, over my head at 8:55 a.m. and at 11:05 a.m. No, that's documenting what is stalking with the fake sun. 8 NDV374, also the evidence against the group stalker, that is the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court. That is the city of Rancho Cucamonga. I'm documenting the entire entity, all right? These demons who are pacing around in the parking lot, the entity that flew over my head by helicopter. All right, this is the same position, and this is the documentation that I've shown you before. Pay attention to those images. That's exactly what I just took pictures of. I'm at the same exact bus stop, and that light source remains directly over me at 11:05 a.m. yesterday. And the entity today, as I'm here much earlier, again, if I'm walking down the street, if I'm at Panera Bread, that's where that fake sun is. It's direct evidence against Panera Bread. Engaging in a molestation while I'm sitting inside of that restaurant. That's what I'm documenting while I'm sitting inside of the car of Tracy Banks, a molestation, all right, with demons who are stalking you. While you're sitting in a mall, the neighborhood mall, you're being molested with directed light. You're going to remove from existence the entity's methods of presence. The Montclair Plaza is a group stalker, all right, and what are you understanding? What is group stalking? Light, relevant positioning, and audible activity, the elements of monitoring. It's also demonic activity. So you're talking about engaging in this demonic conduct inside of an address, i.e. a group stalker, 7LJX397. Engaging in the elements of monitoring while you're crossing path. License 8HNX989. Federal prison while they're also engaged in criminal summoning right now. The entity is engaging in that. It's not just the identification of a third party or state actor. It's also the location where that pattern of conduct is underway. And it's also indicative of what is the necessary as a matter of justice. You're dealing with public corruption. So you're going to remove those businesses from existence while they want to use them to facilitate a terrorizing threat to American citizens. You don't have a right to exist for those criminal purposes. And that's exactly what's underway while a fake sun is over you while you're inside of a venue. Those are all demons engaged in criminal conduct with the government who has a tendency to engage in that very conduct. The Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court is a group stalker monitoring right now, engaged in criminal summoning. But they're all going to federal prison anyway. I've already documented them. And this is criminal conduct right now. This is the demons that are using a fire truck, the Rancho Cucamonga Fire Department demons, All right. You're talking about what is the same conduct that I've documented, and it's under a fake sun as I'm talking about what's not at 11:05 a.m. You already know what's wrong with them and what they're doing. 8 DIU 630 federal prison. 9 AJT 535. Excuse me, 9 AJT 353. And that's what's very, very sad. You're going to remove from existence the corrupt fire departments, the corrupt police departments, these demons driving around in ambulances. They're demons that are pacing around an American citizen to monitor them and terrorize them because they're demons. It's criminal conduct. You're literally using fire trucks and helicopters and airplanes, 8 SOP 193, to stalk somebody for there is no legitimate purpose in stalking, especially as a government, especially as a fire department, because that's what you're doing under a fake sun, by the way. It is clear, and also 11:05 a.m. Not only am I at the same position I was at yesterday at 11:05, the same bus stop, an impossibility, a direct reference to the demon possession of the Rancho Cucamonga Fire Department, who is providing ongoing evidence against the people of the state. That's what they're doing by helicopter, providing ongoing evidence against the people of the state. As I recite the name, the fire department, they are being dealt with in and of itself. That's a matter of documentation. That's the entity acting directly. The entity light source is also not over the roof of the Ovid Family Community Library. Obviously, that goes without saying. License plate. This is criminal summoning that they're engaging in. CYBOYBQ, I believe. 8RUD013. And all of those third parties whose license plate I just recited walking through that parking lot, that's federal prison. They're engaged in criminal summoning. An entity is constantly stalking you with audible activity, indicating the ongoing stalking conduct of a state using sirens. All right, communicating a threat while doing so, and then even in doing more of it while you are documenting the conduct of a psychopath that belongs in a mental ward. But you're talking about state conduct. The entity wants to engage in group stalking and monitoring and terrorizing you with the people of the state. The people of the state will sit in federal prison with them. All right. And so they're monitoring with communication devices while directed light, and a light source is over my head. That's not possibly the sun. That's terrorizing in and of itself. And then you have what are demons that are creating audible activity in that directed light. It's concerted conduct. It's deliberate conduct in that environment, which you are ordinarily unaware of. All right. And they also tend to engage in that if you pay attention. While I start pointing out a structure of how you're going to prosecute this, Satan goes crazy, starts sounding sirens, starts flying helicopters, starts engaging in what is the maniacal rise in conduct. 9BFG 651, which is the conduct of an entity that's being prosecuted. All right. And then it's to its own demise. That's just the 6JNY959. That's a psychopath. That's the psychopath that was like, oh, I'm going to fly over your head by helicopter. You go on right ahead. Everybody's going to federal prison. And I mean everybody. It is currently 9:02 a.m. at the same bus stop again. I just want to state that that's the images that I took. You're going to see those images. Those are uploaded to my Google Drive, where all of my documentation is, as I itemize it by date. Particularly, I'm reminding you what it is that you're looking at. You're not just looking at the fake sun. No, don't forget what I documented. It's an impossible occurrence that I capture that. And where is it? At the same bus stop, at the same address, over the top of my head. Okay? That's how you're looking at who's sounding sirens. Those are demons. That's a corrupt agency. Criminal monitoring, demonic activity, removal from those positions. That's P.O.C. Alrighty, it is 9:02 a.m. Federal prison, 9BLU 666. Criminal summoning, that's the demons of AMR. You already know what they're doing. They were doing this under a fake sun in Fontana, California. It's not occurring at the same time. They're stalking. But aside from that, again, they're in the same environment. Demons following with sirens. As soon as they cross the intersection of Haven and Foothill, the sirens stop. And in addition to that, they're under a fake sun and indirect light sounding sirens. This is P.O.C. It's just moments later. Repeating the same conduct. That's called impunity. Relevant to how long they will sit in federal prison. Alrighty, it is 9:04 a.m. All right, 9:10 a.m., you'll see what is the Omnitrans bus. As it's crossing path, the bus is leaving, the fake sun remains, okay? When I'm on the bus, the fake sun moves with me. And this is also exactly what I documented at 11:05 a.m. The fake sun remains as I remain at the bus stop. And then I get on the next bus at Day Creek, 7FYX589, the demon on the bus clapping and chanting in directed light under a fake sun, maintaining noise, in other words, in directed light. 7HBK079 being the weird demons. All right, and it's a crime to be weird. It's terrorism while demons are being weird all around you. That's what pacing is. It's very terrorizing conduct, demented conduct, with the intent to not only scare you, It's also malicious, 8HHN199. And it's also serving that criminal purpose. But again, what you're looking at is the same bus stop, and at 9:10 a.m. the light source is over me, and it's not remaining visible through some window. While the fake sun is remaining over this bus stop hood over me, you cannot see it through the window as the bus proceeds to drive east on Foothill Boulevard throughout the duration of that route all the way to the Fontana Metrolink train station, which is what the pattern of conduct is, as I've documented that as well. On every single route, not to the Fontana Metro train station, on every route, the entity is keeping a fake sun over my head on those buses. All right, that's why they're venues. 8CNM952. That's what you're understanding is a group stalker. So you're getting out of the this notion, which is not the response. It's not a legal response to what group stalking is. 6NBH257 talking about I don't know you, and that's not the response. Satan, all right, who is unprepared, woefully unprepared for what is documentation of what is a satanic targeting system. A venue is a group stalker. They are stalking with light. The entity is keeping that specific environment in addition to those demons that are present inside of any venue where they're engaged in the elements of monitoring together. You're talking about what is occurring on a bus, identification of a group stalker, what's occurring inside of any venue, any address, any building where you're at, the identification of a group stalker. And it's also on behalf of the state that's engaged in what is surveillance as a public entity. That's what a group stalker is. And that's how you're getting to what is Panera Bread, a group stalker, Omnitrans, a group stalker, the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, a group stalker, also engaging in what is fictitious authority under the law while they're engaging in group stalking. That's grounds of federal prison, removal from existence. Okay? It is 9:12 a.m. 9AXA592. (8KCP311). See, 7FTJ412. No, that's 142. 7FJT142. 327. I need to scratch that one. 8EZW882. 7JVF246. 8UVC976. 6ACF427. 8XUD591. 8RZB588. 98289H2. That's Geek Squad. Affiliated with Best Buy. Group stalking. License BAB526, I believe. That's some different looking license plate, like yellow and black. Like a Jamaican license plate. License 8HDP155, I believe. (6SSG372), 8LHU759, 6FOZ618, Omnitrans group stalking, Route 66, that's headed westbound on Foothill Boulevard. It's 9:15 a.m. where Route 66 is headed westbound. Loitering with light activity while they are at the bus stop in front of the Rancho Cucamonga Chamber of Commerce, the Foothill Dermatology Clinic, where I documented the fake sun directly over that building. It's not over that building today while I'm at the bus stop. Alrighty, it is monitoring with these third parties who are crossing path in front of me. They're monitoring with communication devices, so just want to document that. (7ZXX943), 7ZXK943. This is Burtech crossing path as well. Just like they were at 11 when I'm at this bus stop yesterday, and I took images of that. They're group stalking. That's exactly what they were doing yesterday as I documented that. License 8SDH585, 4YNM993, 4DLE079, 8VNN912, 08011F3, 8UEB693, 7HUK356, 8PSU475, 9AWE175. 7CRW 973. 8VHJ. No, you can scratch on them. Can't see the rest of them. 8HNP 0. Oh wait, 8HNP 803. 218-6672. 7TBV 338. Again, Terra Vista Town Center, the shopping center, they're monitoring. They're engaged in criminal summoning. While you've got the series of sirens, which I documented, again, I want to make sure the entity engaged in destruction of my audible documentation on my podcast, and I'll upload a screenshot of that. But I documented the Rancho Cucamonga Fire Department and also American Medical Response crossing path, creating what is amplified audible activity while demons are using fire trucks and ambulances to engage in criminal monitoring and state surveillance, and also demonic activity, which is terrorism. The Terra Vista Town Center is a venue in relevant position monitoring, engaged in criminal summons. Everything that I'm documenting is that I'm just reminding you it's a whole entity that's engaging in that. This is group conduct. HUP 234. 7F2 1284. 8KAR 828. 7NQU 227. 06360K2. 8YTC 580. And it is currently 9:18 a.m. License plate 4ZHX 313. 7XTZ 541. 8CZR 678. 6CSL. I can't really see the rest of them. ANSE Q2A. 7VPJ 955. 8VFD 833. Oh. And it is currently 9:23 a.m. CC, 9BGW 669, I believe. I was saying CC because I have a paper plate in the front and a license plate on the back. So you can scratch the CC part. License plate 7BWP013. 8LOK344. 8JLW777. 7AEX377. 8HBC193. 8, oh, I can't really see that one. 9BOS156. 7AJP484. 8ZSL339. 652TU handicap. 8YHX939. 6GVJ917. All right, and showing you images of what is Burtech waste management, engaging in what is harassment and monitoring again. In doing so, they're using a dumpster truck with the demons stalking with light activity, amplified audible activity, while those demons are emptying dumpster trash receptacles, right? It's audible activity, it's noise and engineered light, and the fake sun is over the same exact bust hood where Burtech was doing the same thing during the 11 o'clock hour yesterday, as I documented, and Burtech remains fully cognizant of the fact that it's being documented. And that is a company, that is a group stalker engaging in criminal monitoring with the state. This is P.O.C. That's captured in still images. right there above, you see the street lamp, right above the street lamp, that's a helicopter. And it's been loitering as I've been sitting at the bus stop. The entity amplifying the sound of helicopter activity right over the top of the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, a group stalker. State surveillance is underway at that courthouse. This is corruption that I'm capturing while the elements of monitoring are underway. This is P.O.C, monitoring with the people as I'm reading license plates. Stalking with a helicopter. That helicopter is stationary in the sky space in alignment. Monitoring. Posing what is an impermissible threat. I want to be clear, while the police departments are engaging in what is kidnapping, as I've documented. You're witnessing what is public corruption. That's a courthouse, people. They are corrupt. You're going to remove this courthouse from existence. Alrighty? Engaging in what is creating criminal cases while they're engaged in state surveillance, yeah, you're going to federal prison. And this is evidence of what is fictitious authority. Those acts of kidnapping that I'm subject to was a matter of documentation. I will not be going to any of those court cases. It's an ongoing entity that already engaged in multiple acts of kidnapping as well. This is evidence as to legal authority that they don't have under the law. And that's a threat to engage in kidnapping, because then while you're engaging in surveillance and stalking, then what, you're going to issue a warrant for my arrest when you're already engaged in what is kidnapping? All right, so understand the significance of the kidnapping that the Upland Police Department engaged in, which were also false allegations pursuant to that kidnapping. But then it's expedited to what is a court that's also exercising fictitious authority. A helicopter has been hovering, remaining. That's a demon that's crossing path monitoring with the entity. This is a venue. All right, that's a threat to your liberty. And I will not be going to any of those court cases where they're on a docket to prosecute, where they're engaged in state surveillance. That's a threat to your liberty, as I document that. While the entity is going to exercise fictitious authority, that's a threat to your liberty. So then you're going to issue a warrant for my arrest, which is still unlawful. The initial arrest is a kidnapping. This is documentation of that. I'm going to be prosecuting them. All right. And that's why I'm publishing what the entity is doing, from the police to the sheriff's department to the courthouse. P.O.C. It is, by the way, 9:35 a.m. The fake sun is directly over me in Pomona, California, directly over me at the Ovid Family Community Library. And this is an impossible occurrence. This is also the pattern of stalking with helicopter. P.O.C. Alrighty, capturing video and showing you what is the entity that's hovering over the state facilitating venue of the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court by helicopter, where it has remained. So, and I knew this the entire time I'm reading license plates and documenting bird tech. They're monitoring with the entity that's hovering over the courthouse by helicopter. They are indeed monitoring with the state, as I documented, even without the entity hovering in relevant position behind me over the courthouse. That is a group stalker exercising fictitious authority under the law to prosecute any case against the targeted individual whom they are placing under surveillance and monitoring. That is a court. That is a stalker. All right. And so this is captured on video. You can see the helicopter hovering. It's in a stationary presence, remaining hovering over that courthouse. And that's in relevant position to me under what is the fake sun directly over me, while the people of the state, including, for example, Bird Tech and the people who I am documenting and via license plate, are monitoring. All right. And at 9:35, I'm also reminding you of the body of evidence of where the light source is at the same time, which is speaking to, again, the group stalker that is the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, where a helicopter is hovering right over, the direct indication of criminal conduct that the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court is engaging in. The sun, for example, is not over me and at the Starbucks in Pomona, California at the same time. That's the maintenance of that specific environment where you remain subject to surveillance. The sun is not over the Ovid Family Community Library, contrary to what I captured directly over my head on video at 9:35 a.m., where I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism. This is at 9:35 a.m. in this video as I'm reciting that to you, and I'm reminding you what is the absence of any lawful authority under the law, while a courthouse exercising fictitious authority with the police who kidnap you, all right, and the sheriff's department who kidnap you, and then also criminally defame you. That's what Arrowhead Regional Medical Center participated in as well. And then that's an ongoing threat. So a court that's a group stalker is then going to follow. When you exercise your right, you're not going to go to some courthouse. You're going to document it, and they're going to go to federal prison. You're also removing that courthouse. But this is evidence of what is the absence of lawful authority that the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court has in any way. They also don't have it, even as I surround them with that evidence of the fact that they're stalking and monitoring. State surveillance is underway. You're also, and also their demon possession. Understand that those are demons that work in that court. That's the judge to the lawyers, any PD district attorney. You're talking about what is the demon possessed population inside of the courthouse. You're also understanding what is the absence of authority under the law while they are holding some court case. All right, the Upland Police Department, the Ontario Police Department monitoring. All right, and then engaging in kidnapping. I documented that, and then you're saying it as it's ongoing at the courthouse who doesn't have lawful authority. And so as you are not reporting and participating in a criminal act waged against you, you are talking about what is an ongoing threat to your liberty, and that's speaking to, again, the corruption of that court, having no lawful authority to issue any warrant while you're not participating in their criminal act, going to some courthouse where it's criminal conduct. Yeah, that's what I documented right now. It's P.O.C. It's currently 9:40 a.m. Omnitrans is arriving Route 66. Alrighty. Omnitrans arriving in directed light at 9:40 a.m. Alright, I'm walking in directed light. This is a molestation. Bus number 2349, license 1545906, and the minion getting off on surveillance cameras with a communication device crossing path. Monitoring with Omnitrans. He has a tattoo on the back of his neck. He's got on a green bag on his left arm, tattoo on his left leg. He's wearing black and white Pumas. He's crossing path. He's wearing glasses and a blue cap. He crosses path in directed light. He's monitoring with the bus. That's how systematic monitoring is underway. They're monitoring all together. Alrighty, I did capture that video of the fake sun over me as I remain at the bus stop. That's P.O.C. and the fake sun remains over me, not over through the window of that bus going eastbound. I'm going toward the intersection of Foothill and Haven where the fake sun remains directly over my head. That is the indication of what is a group stalker. That is Omnitrans. And every minion either operating that bus or on that bus getting on and off, those are demons that are monitoring together. P.O.C. So I do want to document right now. It's currently 10:30 a.m. The entity is in, that is Panera Bread that's engaged in the pattern of conduct. And again, the entity is aware of the documentation that I published. So I want to document what is targeting by Panera Bread, the one on Foothill and Haven where the light source is directly over, directed light inside of the venue. So they're monitoring. And it's relevant to what this third party identifying identifying themselves as Vic and coming directly up to me in directed light and the light source monitoring. And it is a form of what is targeted harassment and stating, quote, "You gotta go." And this is, again, as I've documented before, Panera Bread, where I'm sitting inside of the venue, and I'm sitting at the table, in other words, inside of what is Panera Bread, where they're monitoring me nonetheless. But I want to document what is targeted. Vic comes right up to me and tells me that I have to go as I'm sitting at the table, and stating that I guess because I'm sitting at the table, he's stating that I just have to leave inexplicably. And I've been here plenty of times. And at Panera Bread in general, you're able to sit in, they have the cafe style type of venue. I want to document, it's relevant to what I'm documenting about Panera Bread. And so this is why they're engaging in this harassment. He walks directly up to me and tells me that I have to go. And I guess he already knows with regard to what it is that I'm doing or why I have to go, or and I'm just stating what is nothing other than the pattern of conduct. This is harassment at a third-party facilitating venue, monitoring with the with the state, and telling me that I have to leave the premises, which is, again, a threat by that entity as well that's monitoring. I did state to Vic, I said, "Why is it that I have to leave all of a sudden?" And he said, "Oh, you just have to go. You just have to go." And I said, "Why is that? Is there a reason why?" "Oh, no, you just have to go. You got to go." Well, and I want to document that this is harassment by a venue that's monitored. All right, and Panera Bread knows exactly what it is that I've documented about them. And this is part of what is that pattern of harassment while they're engaging in a pattern of conduct and are both fearful and hostile to the fact as you document their criminal conduct. This is the Panera Bread, and it's currently, by the way, hold on, let me get the time. 10:32 a.m. Where the light source is directly over the Panera Bread, by the way. And again, the light source, which is the fake sun, is not over the courthouse, not over the Chino courthouse. It's not over the Ontario Police Department. It's not over the Ovid Family Community Library, obviously. This is the pattern of conduct. But I also want to document the pattern of conduct of harassment while you're subject to the P.O.C. The reason why I'm a focus, the reason why he's walking through the restaurant and picking me out and telling me that I have to leave when I am sitting at a table like everyone else. It is also a means of monitoring. It's audible activity creations, relevant positioning. While Vic, he appears to be like maybe Middle Eastern, dark-skinned male with dark hair, and identifying himself as Vic, while directed light is flashing on the wall behind him and engaging in what is exclusion from the venue, which is also, the entity will engage in what is then criminal summoning when they are targeting you inside of that venue. So I just want to document that. It is nonetheless harassment. This is P.O.C. Hi, excuse me. Can I talk to your manager, the one that approached me? His name is Vic, I think. Yeah. I just want to document on my phone real quick. This is Panera Bread, where you are able to walk in and sit at the tables, sit outside at the tables as well. And he walks straight up to me and tells me that I have to go. So I just want to document it. I mean, meaning I just documented it, but I want to document him telling me this. This is targeted harassment. Hi. I'm waiting for Vic. You're Brittany. Thank you. Brittany is the team lead. She's monitoring as well.
Hi.
Hi.
Can I help you?
I already asked to speak with Vic. I'm waiting to speak with Vic.
Oh, okay. He's coming right
Hi,
now.
Vic. I just wanted to confirm, what was it that you're telling me? Why is it that I can't sit inside a Panera Bread? Did I do something?
No, we just we don't let people just post up here.
What is posting up? You mean sitting at a table?
Yeah, without ordering, because we get really busy and we have to turn the tables and.
Okay, so without ordering?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if I were to get up and order at some time, you're stopping me from doing that?
I'm not stopping you from ordering.
So you're telling me excluding it unless I get up and order, otherwise then I have to leave them, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it. I just wanted to make sure because you walked right up to me and not to anyone else, and you told me that I had to leave.
No.
And I've walked in here plenty of times,
Right.
sitting outside or sitting inside at Panera Bread, not just this one, obviously Panera Bread in general.
Okay.
And so that is I found that to be very targeted. How you walked up to me, I don't know what I did that caused your attention.
If it was somebody else that was sitting here and not ordering, I would have done the same thing.
Okay, thank you, Vic.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
P.O.C. And directed light is on the wall while Vic is repeating what is his grounds of audible activity in relevant position. This is P.O.C. Right, this is occurring in the specific environment. And so you're talking about what is the pattern of conduct nonetheless, and I'll show you the light source right over my head. This is specific knowledge of who I am, where I am, and in directed light, it's literally appearing behind Vic's head inside of the Panera Bread, and also doing so while I'm documenting Panera Bread, which is nothing but a third party. This is targeted harassment. Alrighty, this is P.O.C. It is currently, and I captured the light source. It's directly above my head, and directed light flashing inside again. That's a threat that Vic is communicating while he's stating, oh, you have to leave because you haven't made a purchase. The reason why I'm standing out is because I've documented specifically Panera Bread, so understand that. That's what's relevant to the specific environment, to the pattern of conduct, while you are then excluding from the venue. It is, again, 10:39 a.m., so I am walking toward the bus stop, on Foothill Boulevard, where the light source is directly over me. As I walk out, it was present at upon my arrival leaving the bus stop, as I captured that at 9:40 a.m. across the street, going back toward bus stop, and the light source is remaining directly over me, and sunlight is not flashing on the inside of Panera Bread. That's directed light while Vic is monitoring. All right, Mission Linen and Uniform Service crossing path. Coca-Cola crossing path. License 8RKU 467 7UYG 632. What he is stating with regard to, he would have said that to anyone else. Understand that he's monitoring 1545817. So that's what you're paying attention to, 17201L2. License plate LMT 7083 8DHJ239 8ALM 719 6TXZ 602 7VSH581. License 55638D3 7UWM 762 8Z8709T. Excuse me, 097. And I will prosecute Panera Bread for that targeted harassment. This is what you're subject to while also monitoring. And stating his reason for walking right up to me, knowledge of as to whether I have ordered something already or whether I was going to get up and order something. Let me be clear, it's not the issue of whether I ordered anything. I'm subject to the pattern of conduct, and that is targeted harassment at Panera Bread. who is a sex offender, who is monitoring, and doing so in that specific environment, directed light behind Vic's head, which is an unprecedented threat, while he is then using what is my presence in the venue and having that ordered something, which he is, I guess he's directly aware of. And I'm not saying that I'm guessing, I'm saying you are targeting pursuant to the pattern of conduct that you're engaging in. All right, that's targeted harassment. That's P.O.C. It is currently 10:41 a.m. License 6ZCT972, 8UEL939, 97093F2, MNDODAD 8GLV995, 7EGY479, 7LME772, 8PLM230, 6RZF410, 6PNF890, I believe. License 1558295, American Red Cross. They're demons, directed light on the ground. So there's no exception with regard to what is that American Red Cross vehicle, engaging in state surveillance. It is 10:42 a.m. Eight FRC 790, 6 TLJ 830, 8 SXW 315, 6 BDC 416, 8 WPZ 317. All right, and you see as I have crossed the street leaving the venue of Panera Bread, where Vic is engaged in targeted harassment at the third-party facilitating venue. This is hostility to documentation. This is pursuant to that they're fully aware of. That's why you've got directed light. That's why the fake sun is over me. And what you'll see in those images that I just captured right now, the fake sun is on the opposite side of the street, no longer over the opposite side of the street where Panera Bread, that venue, is located in Rancho Cucamonga at Haven and Foothill. It's directly over me, where Vic is engaging in what is targeted harassment of an American citizen that's documenting. But at the time, I was actually just on the internet. So you're talking about you can't just post up. What do you mean post up, minion? I'm sitting there at the table minding my business while you're monitoring. And so that's what you're paying attention to. The P.O.C. is underway, and that is a method of targeted harassment and also a threat. So then, because you're going to go ahead and further with that. So then what are you going to do if I sit here, continue to mind my business at Panera Bread, where I would not be a focus if you weren't monitoring me? That's the threat to engage in criminal summoning while they're harassing you. Okay, so understand how that works, how that operates. Anyway, I wanted to make sure I document Vic. That's grounds of federal prison. Vic's engaged in criminal summoning today with the Rancho Cucamonga Fire Department, the entity that's stalking by helicopter, the entity that is that video that I captured. Vic is inside of Panera Bread monitoring me and then engaging in what is specific forms of targeted harassment inside of a facilitating venue where he is still monitoring as I capture the fake sun over my head. Directed light is on, and while you're listening to that conversation, directed light is flashing on the wall inside of a Panera Bread. That's a demon. That is also speaking to what Vic is, a third party who is monitoring and engaging in what is that targeted level of harassment. This is the P.O.C. And that's grounds of federal prison. While he also wants to engage in what is harassment, I'll prosecute, okay, Panera Bread, the company, civilly and criminally, while they're also engaged in that specific P.O.C. And that's why the fake sun is directly over me as I cross the street leaving the Panera Bread. All right, and so I capture that in still images. This is P.O.C. License plates 17462V2. Eight ZBU 461. Seven VCK 935. 7 THX 888. 95971B3. 8 TLR 428. CDMTRVL URATWIN 7G51741, JMARIEE, P534YO, 7URB772, 8YOJ731, 6W52776, molesting with directed light. License 63176B3. That's CMEX, CMEX. It's a large truck. Causing traffic on the opposite side of the street. 7AFW 880. YWW128, 8KLS458. Seven HYV652. 04792K3. 6JGR426. 8MLD341. 7GBX349. 5LTZ517. 30663S2. That's BBI, that's a truck. 8NBL753. 4503, I can't really see that one. Let's go from 27417G3. 6Z18601. 8WST681. 8MSM583, I believe, or 8WSM583. 8VDL708. 8UVY011. 7SPY983, 8S84772, 32306D2, 8PQK393, Staples is license 88996K2, license 8RPG963, 8H16123, 6MLL599. Walmart Crossing Path, 9AQF503, 8EKH716, and you've got, what is this? AHA, that's the, carried by, it looks like Coca-Cola, but the logo, you can see AHA, that carbonated drink, that's a third party crossing path. License 9BCL825, 8LMX783. They make those really funny commercials, including the sound aha and every word that they're saying. That's a third party that's monitoring in California. 8ZAX960, you've got demons representing their company, crossing path, monitoring American citizens, terrorizing American citizens. 8YCR603. License plate 7UDOA42. 8JVC303. 8NPR959. 6ZNM745. 8FRX974, 601522T1, 8RIF755, 8NID607, 8HVB786, 8ENB442, 7XT1371, 8NRK582, 7FFL771, 4UIB636. 8FRC790, 7TSS924, 8PED120, 8ZMH 275. 8EXP 045. 5DFW or 5DEW 412, I believe. You can scratch that one. 5AZ. I can't see that one. You can scratch that one. It is currently, by the way, 10:54 a.m. (7VSD 881). 7UIT 249. COPELIA 70GK 061. And it's Omnitrans is arriving right now, Route 66, 98858R2. At 10:55 a.m. Omnitrans is arriving. License plate 8XCG 576. Omnitrans license plate 1545833, bus number 2353. All right, this is P.O.C. The fake sun remains over me as I get on the bus. Go. All right, this bus, Omnitrans, operated by African American male. Facial hair and glasses, and it states that the employee number is 3014. 8ZHS 313. 8FDJ 980. 8XXE 371. 8C 79139. 9VQC 753. DEBYSU 7EEM 697. 6SOM 134 at Rochester and Foothill at, by the way, 11:03 a.m. Let's see. 8EPX 494. 80746A1. 14669K3. 8CTT 135. Says life saving blood bank, I believe. 6UKG 224. They're group stalking. I want to point that out. That's why I let you know about these companies, what they're doing. They're all group stalking. License 6AGD 377. All right, getting off right here at Day Creek and Foothill Boulevard at Victoria Gardens. Alrighty, getting the light source right over my head as I'm at Day Creek, maintaining that same central presence. 8FKA291, 8VYN535. These are demons that are crossing the path on Foothill Boulevard, 88815 H3, Voltage Towing Incorporated, 8GMP628. And doing so while I capture the light source that's over me at Day Creek as I get off of the bus. I'm showing you a direct light that's on the bus. And this is the light source that's directly over me as I get off of the bus. It's currently 11:07 a.m. 78RJ349, 16705J1, 9F21462, Americana Enterprises, 8FOF024, 8CMH794, 6XMM975. 8XKV275, 90875P1, 8HXF382, 8GBA746, 8PUF 586, 9BGF 505, 9AAA010, 6EIV110, locksmith, lock and roll is what they're called. They're monitoring. Demons dragging directed light on the ground while they're crossing path, and the light source is remaining directly over my head. Remaining exclusively over Panera Bread while I'm inside of that venue. Remaining exclusively over my head as I leave that venue, cross the street of Foothill, and go back to the bus stop. The light source remains there as Omnitrans buses that I do not get on leave that bus stop. As I get on the bus, it remains over my head, and that's what I capture. Not only directed light on the bus, revealing the light source directly over my head as I get off of the bus in front of what is the Longhorn Steakhouse, the Ortho Mattress. This is P.O.C. 78CW977. Across the street. 8HCW981, 7VCG018. License 8DUG935. License 7SNG430. Seven XXX404. See 8M or 8WM3468, I believe. That's Washington. 8CNY397. 34846L3. 8LTN607. Eight PBU 413. 6BIH 544, BLKD YN, I believe. 7TQM 128, City of Rancho 1568224. That's City of Rancho Cucamonga. That's the municipality group stalking. 8CGV 102, 8FRC 217, 8BMU 492, 8RUP 293, 72938F3, 6GNG 976. PAISAN7, JDPAYNE. I think I read that one. C7GQW676 and CC65T92 paper. 8MYP208. Eight six 8698 OM1 right time air conditioning. 7SKW 303 CFQFC. BN641 handicap. 6AGY 449 8CLK 685 803 52D3. 8VOB 278. 8TRB 136. 7PPM 319. 8TCB 603. 8DSN 678. 6ZML 894. BN49T84 paper. SXM357, 8DXN781, 7YBT168, 7TIK796, 8KME741, 41556S2, 7MYH215, 8XJB584. UEJ600, NW2YORK, I can't really see that. Let me scratch it. 7SER996, 8CGY823, 9BSN705. And remember, I'm documenting an entity. And these very third parties I'm documenting and prosecuting for terrorism while the entity was all night long aiming directed light inside of the vehicle that was parked outside of the Tapora Professionals Plaza on G Street in Ontario. The same exact entity who I'm identifying, 7RXB822, engaging in what is group stalking with the Ontario Police Department, repeatedly flying over by helicopter last night as well. This is ongoing harassment and terrorism by that entity who I'm identifying while I'm in Rancho Cucamonga. It's the same exact entity. And that's who I'm identifying right now, and I'll be prosecuting them the same. It's the same P.O.C, the same exact entity. SHELL 64, 7FLH 234, 8UKZ 352. That's exactly what the entity was doing all night long, aiming directed light, Union Pacific, amplified audible activity, Ontario International Airport, amplified plane activity, stalking with commercial planes, the Ontario Police Department, stalking by helicopter. And as these demons are pacing all around me here in Rancho Cucamonga on Day Creek, as I'm walking at Victoria Gardens, around Victoria Arbors, the Angelica, this is another apartment complex. I'm speaking to my location. The entity is monitoring together. The same exact entity engaging in terrorism as I remain inside of the vehicle, while the entity concentrates that pattern of conduct, which is terrorism, by demons, placing me under surveillance while I'm inside of that vehicle that was parked on G Street. Where I showed you this morning, the fake sun is hovering over the back windshield and directed light on the passenger side in front of me, impossible light activity. And I'll prosecute them for that. License plate, BV07C75, paper. And that includes Vic, who represents what is Panera Bread, both identification of third parties, and the entity engaging in what is targeted harassment while they're monitoring me at Panera Bread. Let's see, tracking my steps, stalking in the parking lot, 9AGJ014, directed light while this demon crosses path, touching, sex offender, and a white Range Rover, stalking, sex offender, okay? AGHS983, 93848Z1. License 6RWT559, 7CGN413, 9AWM930. Showing you the fake sun over my head while these demons are pacing all around, engaging in terrorism, directed light all over the ground, touching on my body. Sex offenders, that's exactly what they are, and that's how they're going to be prosecuted. That's what group stalking is. 8RXT527, 264T46 is Nevada, 8DFA213, 8WZZ802, 7KEE221, 8 DOE 512, 8 MBU 222, 7 VMU 124, 8 DME 140, 7 KSB 429, 6 KHM 804, 8 ETP 955, 7 RCG 094, 8 NVY 358, 7 JLT 928, 9 ETW 143, 7 YJF 535, 6 ZSK 797, 6 PJM 682, 7 CQE 020, 8 CKX 176, 8 XIV 463. You're listening to a third party that's a demon in operation as a communication device while the fake sun is over me. This is how an entity engages in what is surveillance. 8 ETC 135, 9 AWT 585. And I'm walking beside what is Cheesecake Factory. 5 VEV 964. Eight JDW 668. Victoria Gardens, stalking with light activity. One of the, this is a demon that's just operating a security vehicle with flashing light on the top of it under the fake sun, and in directed light is the P.O.C. 8 BKU 187, in case I didn't read that one. 8 EWW 527, 6 RDT 953. GK 488, handicap. That's 11:21 a.m. And the fake sun remains directly over me on the specific streets that I'm walking on through getting to the Paul Bryan Library. All right, the specific streets inside of the mall of the Victoria Gardens. This is surveillance. 8 EEG 060. O Park, license CF 046, handicap. 8 ELR 180. 8 ZVZ 452. These are the same demons stalking where I'm at, inside of a parking garage, and direct light flashing inside the parking garage. Yeah, they're all stalking. They're a bunch of demons. You're going to prosecute the venues. You're going to prosecute the people. All right, and even beyond this venue, they're monitoring amongst a radius with the state. Well, as well, you're going to prosecute the state as well. Understand how you're prosecuting this system. 8 UDH 545. 8 NJC 565. 7 KPY 109. 8 PGR 188. 7 FPW 129. 7 KPJ 820. 7 TOQ 581. Excuse me. 7 TOD 581. 8 KMV 779. 6 GDS 819. 8 AOA 766. 6 MMR 334. 6 RDT 953. Now you'll remember while I'm leaving after 6 o'clock in the evening on this same property, the Victoria Gardens, as I'm documenting a demon that's stalking with flashing lights on the specific street inside of Victoria Gardens, I show you what's the fake sun that is over the same property. Okay, that's again understanding what is stalking with the fake sun and what is demonic activity as you're capable of witnessing it and identifying what they're doing. All right, show you what's the fake sun at 11:25, 8 WNH 560, where these demons are pacing. Standing between Sephora and Forever 21, CD41X49. Sitting in between again, the California Pizza Kitchen, the Yard House, The Sephora is where I'm standing. Fake sun is directly over the top of my head, and I'm looking at showing you what is the absence of the sun over the entrance area of the library. It remains over me as I arrive there. I've arrived here before this time, before if that was the sun, as I documented on that particular date. Then the sun would be there already. I would be walking toward that direction, but that's not the case. The entity is keeping the fake sun over me as I approach whatever venue, speaking to what is a group stalker by address, location. That's how you're prosecuting, understanding what is group stalking. It's the presence of an environment, which is also an impossible occurrence. This is demonic activity, necessarily prosecuted as not only criminal monitoring by an entity, surveillance, it's terrorism. Alrighty, this is arriving at 11:26 a.m. and the fake sun is directly over my head, by the way, in the same position as I'm showing you after 5:45. It's in the evening yesterday. It's about to be 6 as I'm documenting, and the fake sun is glaring through these same windows where I'm standing in front right now. That's impossible. And then seconds later, as I walk out to show you, the fake sun is on the opposite side of the same building. That's still the P.O.C. That's not possibly the sun, but also you're witnessing what is necessarily movement of that fake sun to the opposite side of the building. That's very, very creepy demonic conduct. All right, all of which is impossible. When I'm pointing out those details to you, you wouldn't be able to see that light source if the sun through the window as it moves it to the opposite side of the building. And also, the sun is not going to be over the same venue when you're entering at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, and then you're exiting at 6 or right before 6. And remaining over me as I then go to Ontario, the same venue, Shiro's Liquor, B&G Plaza, where the fake sun is over me at that venue in the morning. All right, and this is why you document. This is exactly why you document, capturing what is impossible, which is designed to defame the target individual. That's not going to be the case. The entity, which is a psychopath, this is demonic activity. Satan is a psychopath engaging in this obsessive stalking amongst what is a secret society. This is what group stalking is, and it's supposed to be to the defamation of that target individual, which is entirely unjust. And that psychopath conduct shall result as a matter of justice, not only based on what is a matter of justice, but based on what your very criminal conduct, stalking somebody and doing so as the entity, the secret society does so. That's conduct that is deserving not only of federal prison, but also mental institutions. All right. This is tormenting, torturing someone, harassing them, and not ordinary harassment. That's harassment by an entity. This is bullying conduct by a government. All right, you're going to directly address that, and you're going to do so very forcefully, which is also serving as a necessary deterrent. It is currently 11:27 a.m. at the Paul Bryan Library. Fake sun directly over me. I captured that in still images. This documentation also of what is federal stalking by an entity in the bathroom. This is the sex offender. All right, the group stalker that's monitoring, placing you under surveillance, invading your privacy, not only as demons, but as the government that's placing you under surveillance. It's P.O.C. All right, you have demonic pacing. These are demons, and they are pacing in the bathroom, and they have shadows in front and behind them. This is a directed light that they're pacing in, and this is entrance into that private space, engaging in what is that demonic activity. This is terrorism in a bathroom. This is the heights of sexual violence as well, ongoing knowledge of the fact that it's being documented at what is the venue of the Paul Bryan Library, under the fake sun at that, and indirect light, which is in the bathroom, where you're looking at what is one demon walking in the opposite direction of each other, two of them, crossing path, they're pacing. And this is what they're doing, walking in and out, and doing so while they are occupying the restroom. This is in the specific environment. This is indeed the P.O.C. as it's occurring inside of a bathroom. These are demons that are creating audible activity while they're in directed light. Alrighty? In the same way that you have demons chanting and clapping their hands and making noise in directed light, these are demons pacing and making noise in a bathroom. That's the sex offender that are the people of the state. These are the demons that are molesting with directed light inside of the bathroom. It is 4:38 p.m. Everything that you're hearing, slamming of doors, pacing in and out, pacing throughout the bathroom. These are the people that state who I documented. Let me be clear, Vic is being documented as a sex offender. This is an entity that's stalking from place to place as one entity together. The entity that's stalking by helicopter is in the bathroom, stalking via the people of the state. Sex offenders entering in on behalf of the whole entity, monitoring and engaged in criminal monitoring. Alrighty, it is again 4:38 p.m. This is P.O.C.
Kids check out each.
that is Jane. Jane's a sex offender. They're over here monitoring with the demons who are pacing around me in the bathroom. Jane is an employee at State Facilitating Venue Ranch Cucamonga, Paul Bryan Library, where I just captured the fake sun over the entrance, and impossible light activity in the shape of the rectangular sign on the wall in front of the library. And you'll see at a distance that sign is the shape of what is engineered light that's appearing. This is engineered light. These are demons that were pacing also in the bathroom. Hi. Nancy, right? I'm sorry, what's your name? Alan? Hi, Alan. So when I'm going to get another laptop. Are you able to manually add time, or is it going to refresh it itself? Because I checked it back in already, and the 2 hours had already expired.
So you're going to check out another one? Mm-hmm. They should let her have another 2 hours, right? I would think so. Go ahead and grab it and see.
And if not, come back to you? Okay, Alan and Nancy, right? Okay, thank you. I understand. Thank you. Hi. I have a question. What is your name? Roja. Roja? Like the red? The color red?
Yeah.
Oh, pretty. Thank you. And you have directed light that's in the walkway right here. So I'll show you this right now. It is currently 4:49 p.m. All right, those are the sex offenders that are the people of the state pacing around, a bunch of demons pacing around in the bathroom. That's a sex offender. And the same entity that engages in spitting, directed light, basically. Impossible light that touches on you while they're driving in cars all around. Those demons stalking in bathrooms. And they're pacing around. That's what you're looking at inside of the bathroom. And I'm also showing you what's the fake sun over the venue, directed light, as I'm showing you in front of the entrance, and directed light inside of the walkway in here. And that is the entity that is stalking by helicopter. That's vicarious presence inside of a private space. A bunch of demons concerned about what's going on in your panties, with knowledge of the fact that you're documenting it. That's very, very severely predatory and sexually violent conduct, very demented. Alrighty, and those state actors being documented as those sex offenders. It's P.O.C, Paul Bryan Library. Alrighty, 8C and P533. These are sex offenders engaging in surveillance in and around the bathroom and pacing in the bathroom, which there is directed light not only in the library, as I captured on video at Paul Bryan Library. Then you're looking at those demons that are in that environment, stalking in the bathroom. They're pacing around. 7NXD585, 7MPM469, 8AZL612. And I also showed you again, as I documented it maybe about an hour earlier, and I came out and I'm identifying state actors who are prosecuted as the sex offenders that they are. Engaging in criminal surveillance, the invasion of privacy by an entity, an unprecedented sex offense inside of a private space. The entity is, and as I'm identifying Jane and Nancy and Alan, okay, Rachel L., also an employee here, engaging in surveillance in a bathroom, a violent sex offender, doing so with demons who are at the venue to engage in surveillance with the Paul Bryan Library and the personnel that are here engaging in this criminal system at a facilitating venue under the fake sun, which I'm reminding you, which I captured on images on my website so you can see at 11. When I'm here and I capture the light source over my head, you're looking at as I step out after 4 p.m. and as I stepped out to show you what is that same library area, you're looking at what is a line of directed light. As I'm documenting on my podcast, I took a picture of it. And then you're talking about what is right now at around 5:45 p.m. That line of directed light, whereas the entity is engaging in conduct as though, because you're remembering the sun is remaining at the Paul Bryan Library, it's just moving to the opposite side of the same building. But yet you're looking at that directed light that increases through the aisles of that library. You're looking at it, so it goes from a line and then all of a sudden it's reaching down through each of the individual aisles in the shape of those rectangular shaped windows, and those rectangular shaped windows, that direct light is going at a downward trajectory across those book stacks through that's impossible light, and you're looking at what is the progression of that light, doing so in a manner that's not commensurate, not in conformity to what the entity is suggesting as I step out of the building, as though, first of all, it's impossible that the sun will remain present, period, but second of all, that it's supposedly moving away, but yet that directed light is increasing inside of the library. Pay attention to that. That's what I just took a picture of. This is but nonetheless, I'm showing you what in still images are sex offenders. Remember the video of what is 5 shadows of my hand while I'm in the library. Those demons that are monitoring in a bathroom, and they're psychopaths. They're demons that are engaging in pacing. All right, and they're doing so again inside of a bathroom, and this includes the entity that is acting with law enforcement. A relevant position is the Rancho Cucamonga. Well, it's the Victoria Gardens, but it's the Sheriff's Department. It's the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department. The same sex offenders that are following me around by helicopter. They've got a Victoria Gardens police station over here, and they're monitoring. That's law enforcement that's present. Group stalking inside of a library vicariously with the people of the state. Sex offenders stalking in a bathroom. Want to make sure I identify that. License plate 6TRV736, 5PRP486, 4MYZENA, 7TQM166, 7VSP025, 7FZJ754, 8PYB771, and 7YOU595, GB554 handicap, 7RZL177, 6EJY585, 8VQH476. 8EQH381, and Victoria Gardens, a sex offender under the fake sun in the parking garage, molesting and directed light in African American male. License PPO14417. The license plate is 8LUB939. Stalking with flashing light on that security vehicle, and my shadow is enlarged in the parking garage. It's reaching up to the onto the ceiling. While I'm standing in the parking garage, I took a picture of the fake sun. I'm showing you what are demons that are patrolling in directed light that's appearing in the parking garage, and that fake sun is present in the parking garage of the Paul Bryan Library, behind the library. But yet you're looking at directed light inside of the library. The fake sun is over the entrance of the library while I'm entering during the 11 o'clock hour. This is demonic activity. Okay, this is the entity that's engaging in what is a molestation. They're molesting in the bathroom, a sex offender, placing under surveillance, directed light. They're molesting in the parking garage right now, while they're pacing around in directed light, placing under surveillance. Also the sex offender that's stalking you. License plate 6UKB743, and this is what they're doing on behalf of the state that's stalking by demon-possessed law enforcement agencies and by helicopters. That's why the environment is present. That's the identification of a group stalker, by the way. Paul Bryan Library, the city of Rancho Cucamonga, is a group stalker, all right? And that's a prosecution. I mean, be clear, that's a shutdown of a lot of businesses and agencies as well. 8AGF293, 8KXN086, 8FKA050, 7KYW784, 8CXD544, 5MRA572, 8ZRP471. Okay, some more sex offenders, showing you directed light all over the roof inside. My shadow, you'll see my hand, I'm waving high, appearing on the roof. This is a demon, and they're stalking their sex offenders. 8UPF632. This is P.O.C. I read all their license plates. While these demons walk in the parking garage, they're molesting with light. They're walking in engineered light, they're pacing. Alrighty, I took images of that directed light. They're engaged in surveillance. These are the psychopaths that go to mental wards while they're stalking you. And in no way suggesting the pattern of conduct is you're supposed to question your own sanity, and what you're not. You're going to analyze what is the mental disturbance of the demon-possessed who are stalking you, sitting around in parking garages in directed light, which is no longer a mystery. So you're seen as the stalker that you are and the sex offender that you are, and you will be going to federal prison while you're monitoring with law enforcement in a bathroom, prosecuted as a violent sex offender, worthy of sitting in a mental institution as well. You're talking about what's necessary as a matter of justice. These are psychopaths that are engaging in surveillance, not only in bathrooms. The demon-possessed engage in surveillance in parking garages. The demon-possessed engage in surveillance everywhere that you are going. And it should be an ordinary, uneventful occurrence, right? Going to Starbucks, and it's not. You're talking about a bunch of demons that are stalking you. And that is a matter of direct evidence in that environment. And that's the significance of the pattern of conduct, the documentation of that environment as you're witnessing it. And so then you're going to hone in, like with a microscope, and look at the demon-possessed, the malice of that system. And that's why they're going to be hauled off into mental institutions. The entity is a sex offender monitoring with minors who are outside of the bathroom with communication devices. That's what I documented. They're little sex offending demons in operation of communication devices, fully engaged in demonic conduct, because that's what the pattern of conduct is. It's demonic activity, and it's also criminal. And that is speaking to what the city of Rancho Cucamonga is engaged in with those under the age of majority. And the entity literally witnessed me because they're monitoring. I published on the internet the documentation of them stalking in a bathroom. The perpetual sex offender is an exceedingly violent sex offender. The state of California, the people of the state. And they follow into the bathroom again. All right, so you're talking about what's a sex offender? A repeat offender. That's speaking to the way in which you're going to prosecute the perpetual sex offense, okay? And so that's documented in images. It's posted, it's published, excuse me, on my website and in large photos because I want you to see the double shadows in the bathroom. You're looking at the significance of what they're doing while one's walking in, one's walking out. They're doing it in sync. They're demons that are pacing. You're looking at, don't look at their race, don't look at what they're wearing. Try to imagine looking at a hideous gargoyle that's trying to hide behind the appearance of a black woman, or trying to hide the appearance of a white woman, or hide behind the appearance of a young kid, because that's what they are. They're demons, and they're pacing. 7KJ and 104, and they are hideous minions as I'm revealing their condition and what they are doing. And this is revealing the sex offender that are the demon possessed and engaging in sexually violating American citizens whom they're placing under surveillance on behalf of the government. Because you are a sex offender while you're stalking somebody in a bathroom, and doing so in a manner which the system is designed such that you're not supposed to be able to suspect, nor ever successfully allege, by the way, because of the malice of the system. And again, the absence of any documentation of what is group stalking, all right, which is not premised upon the traditional notions of stalking anyway, all right? It's the state's pattern of conduct, and that's speaking of malice. 6FVH 912, these are sex offenders I'm identifying because they're all monitoring while my panties are down together. License 68247J3, license GB554, handicap. It's a sex offender, and by it I'm referencing the entity. The entity is a sex offender that is determined to sexually violate, to stalk you in a bathroom, pursuing you, hunting you down. Imagine a stalker, putting it in take out of the context of what's the entity. The entity is acting through all the people. Imagine your ex-boyfriend or your ex-girlfriend, whoever's listening, and they're stalking you obsessively, and they are repeatedly following you into the bathroom. While they're stalking, they are also stalking you in the bathroom. 6VJS340. Okay, and doing so, we'll even put it in the context of group stalking because that's what they're doing. The entity is doing it amongst the people, amongst a group of people. So you're talking about what's a stalker, a creepy stalker, and it's even worse because every time your ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend is stalking you in the bathroom, they put on a different outfit, or they put on some face makeup to make it look like they're a different person. So you're not aware of the fact that it's the same person stalking you over and over again. This is group stalking. It's the same entity. It's the same entity. That is analogous to exactly what the entity is doing. I mean, it's not persuasive. You're talking about what's the state's pattern of conduct, but that's essentially what group stalkers are doing. It's not a different person. 8NTU716 with regard to what the entity is engaging in as a group. It's the same entity, and they're one demon after another, stalking together. 8EWV404, and I want you to remember the video that I captured at the Paul Bine Library where my hand has 5 shadows, where I'm moving it around underneath a desk, and that's what you're looking at. And I'll remind you of that even on my website, because that's what you're reminded. This is what I'm making sure you are cognizant of. You're looking at demons who are stalking, and they're monitoring, and they're doing it in a bathroom. Very, very sick. And that's why my hand has 5 shadows. All right. And it has more than that, because there is even on every side of the wall and on the floor, multiple shadows. That's absolutely impossible light. And it's speaking to the condition of those who are sitting around looking at books while they're stalking you. All right, walking around chit-chatting with their kids, having their little demon-possessed children running back and forth, pacing around in engineered light, in sync with what it is that I'm doing. Very creepy demonic conduct. And that's terrorism. And you're also prosecuting the state, engaging in terrorism, criminal monitoring with those under the age of majority, sexual violence with those under the age of majority, terrorism with those under the age of majority while engaging in sexually violent monitoring. Those are all relevant to the ways in which you're going to prosecute the sex offender. License plate 7BNB075 7CTF545. That's a demon in the same parking garage where I showed you my shadow, multiple shadows inside of that parking garage. That's what that demon is doing. It's audible activity. That's Satan, by the way. Listening to me prosecute it. All right? And this is what you're speaking to, understanding the deliberate conduct of a bunch of demons who are stalking in bathrooms. Sex offender 6ZXY188. All right, this is the unprecedented perpetual sex offense. While the fact that you are pulling your panties down and what's going on in a bathroom is public information amongst the demon possessed. MUMMSY3, the fact that they're stalking you in a bathroom and so intimately concerned with the desire and the ongoing determination to be in that bathroom next to you, which is relevant to what is criminal monitoring. RVRUP3, its presence in directed light around you. They are stalking in the bathroom and monitoring you in the bathroom. Determined to engage in ongoing monitoring in a bathroom. That's a sex offense. That's exactly how you're going to prosecute. 8UOU501. They don't care how much you're documenting. That goes to that level of a sex offense, the level of a sexually violent threat. 6 MIA 745, an impermissible threat. 8XBN 759. 6BKB 710. 6ZNG 365. License plate 6EJZ 590. 6EJZ 590, yeah. 7VGT 320. License 8XSU 977. 6U JT 606, excuse me. 9AMW 766, and these demons are now pacing in directed light on the streets in vehicles. CC03H81, it's the same pattern everywhere you're going, pacing all around. Psychopath conduct, you're looking at what is the spiritual reality of what's going on around you. Demons, 8XNK915, 8WKN556, 97897Z2. This is a sex offender in a parking garage with directed light over the top of the wall while he is driving outside of the parking garage. This is a sex offender. This is a white male, bald head. He's wearing black glasses and black and white, like gray facial hair, like a beard. Inside of the parking garage where they're monitoring. These are demons pacing out in directed light. 9BCD 983, a sex offender monitoring while my panties are down. In directed light right now. These are all sex offenders. 8ZKP 662, they're all stalking together. And they were all engaged in stalking together while my panties are down. You want to monitor somebody while they're in the nude, while they're engaged in private activity. You like to do that with the state, all right, on behalf of law enforcement. This is multiple grounds of federal prison. This is mental institution material. 9AFJ434, 7BXD 938, 6ZUN 965, 8BQJ 113. This is ongoing impunity. Demons determined to engage in ongoing stalking. They're not here to go shopping. The fake son directly rebuts that. They're stalking. License 8WSC 441, 1UBN 662, 8MEB 163. Directed light, multiple shadows inside of this parking garage, and I already captured video of the fake sun over me. You've seen exactly what it is I'm describing right now at this same exact parking garage. 8MJV 054, 7TFX 849, 8WME 283, 5TEJ 556, 8XEZ 045, 7HQT 851. 8PFD 678, 8TJC 055, 7BXD 938. That demon is BW57F52 paper. They're going to federal prison. That's impunity. 7ULD 405. That's one that's exceedingly disturbing. All right, that's a disturbed demon. But let me be clear, it's not different. They're all of the same condition. 8FFA 869, 00597M2, 8SAT 572. This is an entity that's flashing directed light, which is what was going on inside of the library as well, Paul Bryan Library. 8JYH 306, revving your engine is noise and directed light while the entity is flashing that light. That's a demon that is engaging in what is terrorism and is speaking to what is impunity. All right, meaning they disregard the fact that you are documenting it, which while they're threatening your life. You go to federal prison for that. 7UOF 034, 8KVA 726, 8VLY 974. And let me tell you something. The rest of these third parties are communicating the exact same threat. They are monitoring together. Okay? 8KVA 726, 8EWW 050, 7ATY 773, 4YWS 649. License plate 7YDW 465. 9AYJ 860, 8SXS 852, AJ21586. This is Maryland 2CB 0048, 8XOJ 691, 8FAM 974, 8XNK 915, 7SWP 406, 7VLK 856, 8LGA 928, 8ROH 737, 8DBJ 959, 7YYL 328, 7A36 739. 8TAC 192, 7MYR 166, 7TDM 676, 8SYE 875, 8YIP 541, 7XPF 594, 8XQP 272, 8AQN 409, 7J HW 821, 7PHU 969, 8RDG 433. This demon stalking with light. They're engaged in surveillance, sitting in the parking garage. That's longer time in federal prison. This is impunity, operation of a communication device, and directed light flashing on the wall while they're stalking inside of the parking garage. License 8VZD 748, the same exact impunity as the demon revving their engine, by the way. 5CHW 072, that same psychopath level beast conduct is operating in 8VZD 748. That's the same exact entity. You need to understand that. 8RDG 433, I read that one already. You're looking at the flesh on the outside. Oh, this happens to be, she's a 5'2" quaint female with golden blonde locks, and there's some difference because she's wearing a nice little checkered sunflower dress. No. No, no, no. No, no, no. You're dealing with demons. And that same defiance you hear represented by a demon revving their engine while directed light is all over the place, knowing that they're being documented, that's impunity. That same beast, that same violent sex offense, that same threat to your life is at work in that minion with that license plate, no matter how short she is, no matter how quiet her voice sounds, right? You're dealing with demonic activity. All of them. Every single last one of them. All right, and you're not going to be treated any different under the law, but I also want you to know that you're dealing with that same ferocious beast, which is Satan, a psychopath, a threat. All right, a threat based on that mental instability that is at work, based on the P.O.C. as you witness it, but also based on what is your condition. All right, and that criminal conduct that you sought to engage in covertly, and then what do you do when it's no longer a secret? Show your true colors. Showing your true colors, showing how much you deserve and need to be in mental institutions, showing how evil, how wicked, how perverted, all right, you are, P.O.C. The fake sun is now over the front portion of the Paul Byan Library again. It's directly over my head while I'm showing you while I'm inside of the parking garage. As I walked around the front to get more license plates around the entity, and you hear the Satan revving an engine, this is audible activity, in a parking garage flashing direct light, which I've captured on video before at that same exact venue in that parking garage. And the fake sun is moving around me around the building as I do that. And the fake sun is back to the front portion of this same library. It's literally over my head as I walk here during the 11 o'clock hour, and it's literally, I'm looking at the same entrance of the library, and the entity's fake sun is on the opposite side of the doors. All right, that's an impossible occurrence. It's the mark of demon possession, and that's why you are, again, understanding what is no difference with regard to a demon, regardless of its race, regardless of its height, regardless of how harsh or soft-spoken their voice is. You're dealing with that same beast, and Satan uses people. Violent sex offenders. Psychopaths. Stalkers. Let's see. See, 7607271. Directed light flashing in the front of the car at Victoria Gardens.
Oh, Church Street. I'm just not getting your text.
Oh no. Did I? Oh yeah, I did. I sent you an audible text. Sorry. 06168L3 and 7GBU409 8RVV528 9ACM241 San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, crossing path as well. Fake sun over on what is Etowanda Avenue, and I'll show you that. Let's see.
No, my nigga again.
06160L2 is the correct license plate. This demon is crossing path, touching me with directed light while crossing path on Etowanda. And I'm capturing the fake sun. You can see the large white fan that's on the ground to state facilitating venue West Valley Detention Center, where you also see the fake sun, an impossible occurrence. Okay, and this is a demon that's engaging with its harassment and molestation, which is, again, this is hostility by the demon-possessed entity, San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, while I'm documenting them, stalking me in helicopter, while I'm by that venue. It's not a coincidence. But also the sun is not over the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, but I'm showing you the light source that is over me while I'm there, 8DIK752. And you can see it in images. That demon, I'm going to prosecute him. The fake sun is directly over while at the 15 freeway. Obviously I'm at the 15 freeway, and that demon that's speaking to what they're engaging in. So when you're talking about molestation with directed light, it's occurring under the fake sun. It has nothing to do with sunlight, though. It's speaking to what it's targeting by a bunch of people who are molesting with directed light. Again, that's 06160L3, and that's P.O.C. Just want to make sure I document that.
Yeah, God is so good.
98450N2.
Yep.
HSM 8216, that's a New York plate. 7WTB 297.
Then I would have had 2 loans. I just
JBKG
wasn't making the money. How you doing? How was your day?
7KYM 868. 8PMJ 079. 8PQS 567.
Nice. Nice.
Looks like 408177.
Yup,
That is
that's the way it
Go
goes.
Logistics. That's a large truck. 8SDA 681. 7SBB 992. 6X24785. WAYBLSD 7S06947. 6TH. I can't wait for the
You're
rest of them.
funny. I like
8UBN 476. 7PRB 882.
Yup.
7CJW 100. CC.
Well, I'm happy, so
can't wait to
that
go
you
to this
happy.
7TMK 343. 27969 G3. BWO 2867 paper.
Yep.
58931Z1.
All
8BKF 327. That was KF 327. 8YCS
Big
070.
homie who?
Excuse me. 7KFK 72.
Oh, yeah. It might take him a month.
5693A handicap 03521Y2. 1607132. 51557X2. 6DGT626. 5CVZ331. 95321L2.
Well, he gave a love to everybody.
6HPU739. License 8WYC541. Molesting while inside a shower with liquor. Can I get a black and mild, please? 6NPW544 is molesting. That's a Charles Liquor store owner. 5PBR605. 7TLN590. And 8YQY003 is engaged in surveillance, engaged in that sex offense as well. They're surrounding group stalking while touching me inside the Charles Liquor, where the sun would never be present anyway, and obviously that's not sunlight.
Oh,
P.O.C.
okay.